ladies. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Angela Simpson, and I'm a functional medicine practitioner and healthcare professional that has been working in the field of women's health for many, many years. And I have a passion for helping women, especially women that are moving through that transition towards and into menopause. So that can be anywhere from the ages of really 35 to 55. You may even be a little bit below or above that. There's quite a broad age range where our hormones are shifting and changing a lot. And with that, we often have different symptoms come up. But because I have been working in this field for many years now, I've seen some very similar symptoms come up over and over and over again. And I want to make sure that I'm sharing with you what I see in my practice and what I see working so that women feel like they can maintain their life, their balance, and really enjoy things as they move towards and into menopause and not just feel like they're suffering all the time on a day-to-day, possibly even like minute-to-minute basis. One of the top concerns that women have is debilitatingly low energy. And they often equate it to different times in their cycles, if you're still cycling as a female, or if you are postmenopausal, many women equate it to the shift and the change and the drop in your hormones. So there's some truth to this for sure, but something that very commonly also happens as you move towards and into menopause is that your gut health changes. And so what I often do with women when I work with them is the first thing that we address is not your hormones, believe it or not, even though I do hormone testing with women all the time and I look to see where the imbalances are in the hormones. I almost always start by looking at the gut health and doing lab testing and understanding how we can start to rebalance your gut first. And with that, the hormones actually start to rebalance and some of the symptoms start to improve without even touching the hormones from a treatment perspective. So at first I found this just absolutely fascinating. Like, why could this be happening? I don't fully understand it, but I can see it's working. But as I've dove deeper into the science over the years, I've definitely seen clearly the reason why this is happening. There is a huge connection with our ability to digest and absorb our nutrients, and those key nutrients that we should be digesting and utilizing actually help us to produce hormones and keep those hormones in balance, even as they are lowering and shifting on the way towards and into menopause, and as the hormones continue to lower after we're in menopause. So like it or not, we have to have a couple things going for us. We do have to work on optimizing our nutrition, whether we like it or not, as we move more towards and into that transition into menopause. I know sometimes this is a really hard area of lifestyle to address in the world that we live in. There's so much convenience food available to us on the run, even at home. We often don't feel like we have to do a lot of cooking, prepping, and more of those traditional ways of making our meals and putting them on the plate and sitting down and eating. But actually what I have seen is these more traditional ways are things that actually help us to improve our hormone health and balance, especially in this time of life. And it's because we need those key nutrients now more than ever to keep our hormone levels up relative to our age and balanced with each other. But sometimes it's also not enough to just be bringing in the right nutrition. This is basically the first battle that we've got to win, is we've got to start bringing in the right foods. But I also work with many women that are bringing in the right foods and they feel terrible most of the time. And they're really frustrated. They don't understand why they made all these changes, why everyone else around them is eating whatever they want. They're eating properly, but they still feel terrible. The answer I often find has to do again with your gut health. And as the hormone levels lower, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, these sex hormones are all lowering on the way towards and into menopause. It actually does have an influence on our gut health and our digestion. It does slow down our metabolic health, it slows down our digestion, and it actually can make us more prone to having imbalances in our gut. It doesn't allow us to detoxify as well, and we can have more inflammation. So what I see on lab testing is that most people do need to work, females in this age group, on balancing their gut bacteria, the balance in their gut microbiome. And we need to understand specifically what's going on in each person's gut. It's not simple enough to just say, well, just take a probiotic. We need to get much more specific than that, because often there are low-lying gut infections in women's bodies. They have no idea they're there because they don't feel actively sick from an infection. You may not have the classic upset tummy or upset bowels, so you therefore assume that your gut has nothing to do with how you're feeling and your hormone symptoms. But often there are things that we can see when we do lab testing that actually helps us to understand more the imbalances going on in your gut bacteria. And many women do have low-level gut infections. They're not digesting well, and they have a huge imbalance in the good bacteria relative to the bad bacteria in the gut microbiome. So the only way to really fix your energy, fix these hormone imbalance symptoms that you have, is to get the gut working properly first and foremost. And then from there, if we need to add or change what you're doing from a hormone perspective, maybe you're adding in some hormone replacement therapy, maybe you're taking some products to help you actually detoxify and balance your hormones. There's different things that different women need. And again, we do need to rely on lab testing, even from a genetic standpoint, to understand what you specifically need as an individual hormone perspective. But the first step is to balance your gut. And so we cannot have happy hormones and a nice balanced life leading towards and into menopause without a happy gut. So I hope that this helps to make some sense for you. You can definitely start with the basics by just making sure you're bringing in nourishing, healthy, whole foods meals. Stop the packaged, on the go, grabbing things, whether it's at a store or even in a restaurant, at a coffee shop. It might even be at your grocery store. You're buying things that are already pre-prepped, ready to go, packaged, processed. But really, you want to try and gradually get yourself out of that pattern, if that is you, to having predominantly healthy whole foods that are cooked at home or cooked by someone that you love, hopefully at home. Maybe you don't have to do all the cooking. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? And this can be your first step. And then from there, you can definitely see how you're feeling by just starting at that base camp, bringing in the right foods. And often women do need more than that. Very commonly, digestion is not optimized as the hormone levels lower. So we need to understand specifically what's happening for you in your gut. And for that, we rely on lab testing. And then from there, we can actually customize a personalized plan to help you heal, repair your gut, your digestion, your ability to detoxify and balance hormones. And then we can look and decide when and if you do need to do some specific work around your hormone health and balance. This formula has worked well for me with working with hundreds, I'd say probably thousands of women now. And women typically that do the things that we talk about here, and based on lab testing, giving them an individualized plan, they have things turn around in as quickly as 4 to 6 weeks. I've just come off a couple of programs that have been working with women with in the program over the last week. And the progress has been absolutely amazing. Tears of joy with how much better they're feeling. And really what we did in the first 4 to 6 weeks is we worked on recalibrating and rebalancing their gut. So if you want to learn more about how you potentially could do this, and if it may be a good fit for us to work together, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to connect with women that feel like they're ready to take the steps to learn how to take charge of their health and their life to rebalance their hormones. So you can reach me at my website, www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca, and there is a place there for you to book either a free complimentary consult with me, or there's a contact link for you to send me a message, and we can talk back and forth if we need to understand if it may be a good time for you to book a call with me, and we can talk about the next steps that way. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to bringing you more and more materials on how you can learn how to rebalance your hormones naturally as you move towards and transition into menopause. It doesn't have to be a rough, rocky ride. There is a way to get the balance back and have it smooth and calm again. So I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.